All right, hey guys, I'm Coach AB. I'm a body transformation expert. One of the things that makes me an expert in major body transformations is that I've successfully done it myself. I used to weigh about 320 pounds at my heaviest. I spent the majority of my life being pretty obese. I've successfully lost over 100 pounds. I walk around today at about 199 to 209 pounds. Just depends on the day and the week and what my training looks like, and of course my goals. I'm an owner of a personal fitness facility here in Yakima, Washington. And one of the things that sets us apart at the facility is what we focus on. And what we focus on is outcome, is the result that we're able to produce. One of the things we often say is that most gyms provide access to equipment or workout. What we provide access here to is a result. And so I want to talk to you a little bit today about how you personally can, make a major body transformation, of course. A lot of times people have tried several times or maybe lots of times to cut body fat, maybe to build some muscle, to reach a specific goal. And oftentimes when you start out, there's a little bit of progress. And I'll explain why that progress happens pretty quickly at the start. Oftentimes it tends to sort of plateau, what we call it, the weight loss or maybe the muscle gains. And that's typical, that's really normal. And I'll explain why that is as well. But one of the things that I want to emphasize today is, a plan, okay, a plan of action. And it sort of starts with, the goals or the reasons why you're moving forward. So I've worked with a lot of people, helped a lot of people make major transformations, continue to do so. And in addition to that, I've successfully, personally kept the weight off for upwards of 6 years now, and maintained a pretty high level of fitness as far as what I'm concerned. So anyways, let's get right into it, okay? Number one, you want to understand your reasons of why. So we're going to start with just the basics. We want to make sure we have a foundation and that we're doing things that really work. So what I'm going to share with you today are things that have not only worked for me, but it worked for many of my clients and people that I have helped out. So we don't want to rewrite or reinvent the wheel. We want to just do what works. And what I'm going to share with you is what works for most people. There's obviously going to be variations, but just apply this to you and your life. So the first thing we want to discuss is your why. Why are you trying to lose weight or make a major transformation? So it's pretty important to identify that. The motivating factor is huge, but you have to understand, regardless of how high the motivation is, motivation, like most other things, builds and wanes, right? Motivation gets really high at sometimes, and then it wanes at other times, and that's natural for everybody. So I'm sure you've experienced that if you've ever tried and then of course failed to reach a fat loss goal or a fitness goal. So the first key is to understand your why, like what's your motivation. Now for some people, it's a doctor telling them you're borderline diabetes or you are morbidly or obese and it's detrimental to your health, like you're going to die if you don't lose some weight. That's a major motivating factor, right? Like that's huge. That's adversity. And adversity is great because when you're faced with an adverse situation like that, or maybe, it happens, it's unfortunate, but maybe your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse left you for a fitter person, or just because there was the physical attraction, kind of dissipated in the relationship. And again, that's unfortunate, but it does happen. And so we're talking about real life here. But again, that's a pretty adverse situation, right? Somebody leaving you because of your image, your body. Other things like maybe you're not able to play with your kids, or you don't have the energy to do stuff that you used to do before. And those are pretty motivating factors because of how adverse they are. And you have to understand that adversity forces skills and talents and actions that would otherwise lay dormant. So although adversity, that sucks, there's some power behind it. So I did want to address that first. Now there's other motivating factors, like you just look in the mirror and you just wish that you had less fat or bigger muscles, or that you look like that person or this person, or maybe you're trying to be attractive enough to get a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or just build your self-confidence, or just feel a little bit better, but you're not in a major adverse state, meaning you don't have hundreds of pounds to lose, or meaning that your health is relatively okay, you just want more. So that's pretty motivating, but obviously you can understand how it's not as motivating as a severely adverse situation. So the adverse situation is really powerful. So the other way to create, if you're in a spot where you're, I don't want to say complacent, but you're not in such an adverse spot, but you want more results. You have to understand, we want an equally strong and significant force. And that force can come from, understanding, believing, and being excited that what you want, that those goals of losing that weight or making a major transformation is actually feasibly, reasonably within reach. Okay? Like you deserve it, you can have it, and there's a roadmap how to get it. And you're so excited because it's within reach. All that it takes is action. And when you're so excited about it because you believe that you can do it and that it will happen, well, that's pretty powerful too. So regardless of where you're at, understand that. I'm going to give you the roadmap today for how to be excited and understand how to go after it so that you can be successful. And then again, if you're in an adverse situation, I sympathize. I've been there, but it's not all bad. Remember, there's sometimes that's a blessing in disguise. That's the beautifulness, I guess, of adversity, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, so moving forward, you want to know your why. You want to know your motivating factor. Identify it, and then you want to keep that present. Keep it in mind. Okay, think about it. Put pictures up. Write things on your mirror. That is relative to you and that goal. If it's looking like a certain athlete or a certain person, put their picture up. Think about it. Remember why that's important. And think about the feelings that you would feel when you actually achieve that goal. That's really powerful too, because it helps your subconscious, understand that that's what you want, and your brain will subconsciously be working for you as you build that excitement, and you think about it, and you feel the feelings of being fit, or you feel the feelings of being as lean as you'd love to be, or you feel the feelings of losing that last 10 pounds or 100 pounds. It's awesome, okay? And don't deny yourself those feelings just because you haven't been there yet. So you want to think about it, you want to feel it, you want to get excited. It's crucial. I know it sounds hokey pokey, but it is crucial. That's step number one, okay? Again, when we're talking about motivation, we understand it wanes and builds. So you want to proactively put yourself into situations that build motivation, okay, or inspire motivation. That could be a friend, that's really inspiring to you. That could be signing up at a gym where, the environment encourages that. Listening. You can listen to in motivational videos on YouTube, which I'm a big fan of, stuff like that, or just talk to other people or be around people who are doing that thing, and it's encouraging and it helps keep motivation high because it will wane. Okay, the next one is taking action. So a lot of times, I remember when I was first getting started at 320 pounds, I was fat, I felt horrible, I couldn't run, I couldn't do things I wanted to, my self-image was at an all-time low, I was depressed, and what I wanted, this idea of what I wanted, really similar to what I've achieved here, seems so far off, so far daunting, so far away that it's overwhelming. Because the idea of thinking about how much work I might have to do, the workouts, maybe the investment, the time, the sacrifice of not eating the things I wanted to do, and just all that seems, when you think about all of that, it's overwhelming. And then what if I fail? And what if I don't actually do it? Okay, that's defeating. I don't want to put myself in a place that's going to be defeating or make me feel even worse. So sometimes when we think about it that way, it's not inspiring. We don't want to take action because we might fail. And thinking about all of the work in which that would be required, like I said, and that's not what we want. Instead, and so oftentimes people want all the lights to be green. They want to guarantee that if they take action and they do this, that this is the outcome that they will get. And so, they like I said, they wait for all the lights to be green before they go. And the truth is, all the lights will never be green. Okay, that'll never happen. I also call these people aim, but never shooters. You don't want to be one of those. Okay, there's power into being willing to take improper action even. Taking any type of action, then you get the feedback from it, you tweak it, okay? So that's step number 2. Take action, whether it's a walk. I started with a walk. Actually, I started with drinking more water. That's where I started. That was step 1. Step 2, I decided I was going to jog to the end of the street. I made it about a block, and then I had to walk, and my knees were hurting, and it was terrible. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm way more out of shape than I even thought. But I took action, got that feedback, and it reaffirmed how much I really needed to keep going. Okay, because I was in a far worse place than I even thought I was. Okay, so step 2 is taking action. Number 3 is you should have a plan. Okay, don't wait to get a plan. Take action, get your feedback, learn a little bit, and get the plan going. But don't wait to take action to develop the plan. With that being said, having a plan of action is crucial. You want to know specifically what your goals are, okay? What's the fastest and best way to get there? And then you want to write that plan out and schedule it, okay? Write it out, schedule it, make time for it, make it priority, okay? Those things are part of your plan of action, okay? Moving right along here, one of the third tips, this is probably the most valuable tip, accountability, right? Accountability is huge. You making a declaration to yourself and even God or whoever you pray to oftentimes isn't enough. Now, I did it by myself, alone in a gym every day. That's a hard way to do it, but if I would have had a coach, a mentor, a trainer, a workout buddy, something like that, it probably would have been far easier for me. So I took the hard route. But I highly, highly recommend creating an accountability situation. So accountability is so valuable. It's basically what my clients pay for. Okay? I'm going to bring you high quality workouts and give you a legitimate nutrition plan that's for you and your goals. But the most value you're going to get from me is I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to hold you accountable. And that's really hard to deviate from your plan when there's accountability. But when you just, make a promise to yourself and to God, or like I said, whoever you pray to, It's not a high level of accountability. You might want to declare this to your friends or family. You know, maybe ask them to help you. Say, hey, you see me eating this? Smash it out of my hand. Or maybe it's your workout partner. And on the days you don't feel like going, he or she's calling you up and saying, hey, man, this is what I'm here for. Get your butt out of bed. Meet me at the gym in 15 minutes. And then the next day, or days later, when he doesn't feel like going, you're going to be there to do the same for him. So that's really powerful, is accountability. A lot of times people tell me that, you know, they want to take action, and it's a funny response I get, and they're like, you know, I'm going to be there someday. I'm going to do it. I'm going to step up. I'm going to do that, which is required. And I know I can, but right now I'm just too lazy. So it's not yet. And the truth is, you're typically probably not a lazy person, okay? You're just lacking that plan. You're lacking the motivation. You're lacking taking action. You're probably a very hard-working person, okay? So laziness is really not an excuse. For most people, when you're actually highly motivated and put your mind to it, I'm sure all of you can recollect a situation where you've actually been highly successful. Just a minute or two, okay, Rosie? Okay. Yeah, you're fine. So remember, you're not a lazy person. You're just lacking those things. Let's talk about some of the basics, okay? I'm going to cut this video off here in just a second. How to cut fat fast as hell, or fast as heck. Cutting fat's easy. People ask me all the time, what's the fastest, best way to cut body fat? Number one, there is no best way. There's only one way to cut body fat, and that's by being at a calorie deficit, which means you need to burn more calories than you intake. That's it. That's it. You don't even need to work out to be at a calorie deficit. I recommend working out, but you don't actually have to. You can work out to burn more calories, to make that deficit even farther, okay? But if you're in a calorie deficit, you'll burn fat no matter what. That's just the way it is, easy peasy. You can reduce calories, okay? Or you can increase calorie expenditure, or, my favorite, couple the both of them together, and that deficit's even larger, okay? Do it and commit to it, and you can get results, and it's inspiring, and you feel confidence from it, and it encourages a compounded effort. I'm sure that makes sense. When you get great results from little action, then it's a compounded effort because it's worth it. Instead of making a big commitment, getting little to no results, and then you kick your foot in the dirt and say, this isn't worth it. And give yourself excuses like, maybe I'm just big boned, or maybe it's my thyroid, or, I've heard them all. But the truth is, when you're able to produce fantastic results quickly, it's really inspiring, it builds confidence, and it kickstarts. One way you can do that is drinking a gallon of water a day, minimum a day. 1 gallon of water, minimum a day. Don't deviate from it. You'll be surprised. When I applied this rule in the first week, I lost 10 pounds. I didn't even work out, and I wasn't eating healthy. I just drank a gallon of water every day. That's a zero investment in an easy commitment. Drink water. Okay, the other one is, I'm just going to talk about cardio really quickly. Then I'm going to cut this video off. What I'm doing here is a really slow-paced, non-panting cardio, which means I'm doing a pace that I can still talk to you, and that's because I'm fasted. I'll talk about that in another video. But when I'm fasted, my fat's in a really vulnerable state. So I'm burning fat without expending a ton of calories that I want to reserve for my workout later today. The other way to do cardio is steady state cardio. So imagine if I picked the pace up on this bike here a little bit, or I was going for a jog. That's fine, and it does burn calories. But you have to understand, the problem with it is when you stop jogging, the calories stop burning, right? And so that's okay if you want to dedicate hours and hours to jogging and running. But to increase your workload or to make it more intense, you have to run longer and longer. And we don't want to spend 2, 3, 4 hours jogging, running, right? So if you enjoy running, if it's therapeutic to you, or that's all you can do to get started, then do it, okay? A far superior way to do cardio is interval training, high intensity interval training, okay? in also lifting and using weights. The reason why is because you're getting the muscles firing. Okay, you're causing micro tears in the muscles if you're using weights. So not only are you burning calories in the workout, but post-workout, your body, there's an afterburn effect. And then when you go to bed at night, your body's got to repair those micro-damaged muscles, okay? And that takes a lot of energy. So you're burning more calories in bed from work you did once. Now, high-intensity interval training, HIIT training, things like Tabata and HIIT training, imagine me on the bike here. Imagine me on the bike here pedaling as hard and as fast as I possibly could for 20 or 30 seconds and then resting or slowing down. And then pedaling as hard as I possibly could, reaching a peak intense state, doing the most I possibly could, or sprinting and then walking, or jumping jacks and push-ups or burpees and then resting, doing 20 to 30 seconds of extreme high intense work while then you rest and then do intervals for as long as you can. The benefit of that is your workout might last 5, 10, 15, maybe just 20 minutes. But the afterburn effect, because of the intensity, is going to be far longer. So when you stop working out, you're still going to be burning calories. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Leave me your questions, and I'll make some more videos for you. But remember what your why is. Keep it prevalent. Okay, keep it in mind. Don't be afraid to take action, even if you don't have the best game plan. Get the game plan after you start taking action. Get an accountability partner, whether it's your friend, your mama, your workout buddy, whoever, gym buddies, gym memberships. Stay in environments that boost that motivation, okay? And remember your basics. Stay at a calorie deficit. You might have to track your food, okay? And do workouts that burn a lot of calories for a little bit of time. All right, guys, that's it for today. Coach AB, your body transformation expert, and we'll talk to you later.